For this raw vegan oatmeal, I'm going to start with a half of a cup of coconut water, and I'm going to put it into my Vitamix blender. Whoops. You may be tempted to use regular water, but I tried it with filtered water and it just isn't as good. I've never tried it with almond milk. That might make it nice and creamy, but the coconut water adds a little bit of sweetness to it. Then I'm going to use one medium-sized banana that's room temperature and is very ripe. And it's important to get very ripe bananas because they are sweeter and more delicious. And I'm going to add just a little bit of cinnamon, a couple shakes, and a half a teaspoon vanilla extract. I really love that vanilla flavor in oatmeal and of course in my smoothies. Next up is one raw cauliflower. Get the smallest you can. And I'm going to use 10 ounces. Now, originally I was tempted to use 16 because I was like, oh yeah, I can get a whole pound of cauliflower in one meal. And it was just too much bulk for my stomach. So I eat a lot of cruciferous vegetables. I typically eat about 1.5 pounds a day throughout the day, starting with lunch. So it's just too much bulk, and then my stomach doesn't feel good. And the bottom line is that I'm getting at least 1 pound a day, and that's perfect. That's like ideal and amazing and fantastic. If you can do that, you're really optimizing your health. All right, so I'm cutting off this from the back side, and this already looks like it's going to be more than 1 pound, so I'm going to not use all of it, which is great. And make sure that when you are getting any fruit, vegetables, rinse it off, even if it's in plastic, and cut off any icky spots. So I'm going to cut off those spots that look a little bit unsavory. Now that it's rinsed, I cut off any spots that were kind of discolored, a little bit brown. And then I'm going to cut off some of these florets. But to make sure I don't overdo it or underdo it, I've got my scale here. I'm going to set it for ounces. So I'm going to just chop this. And I'm not going to go crazy and make it perfect because I am going to blend it. And I am using my Vitamix instead of a food processor because I just find that it's easier to clean, easier to use, and I just get perfect little pieces. So if you want to use a food processor, that's fine. I don't care. So what I do is I just chop and then toss it in there little by little, and then I can watch how much I'm putting in as I'm going. So hopefully you can see. Push it back a little bit. All right, so right now it's 5 ounces. So my goal is 10 ounces. I will be nice and full for about maybe 2 hours after I eat this. Not a whole lot. It's not a lot of calories. So I find that to eat a raw vegan diet, I need to eat like 5 to 6 times a day, every 2 hours or so to be full. Almost there. Oh, there I am. 10 ounces, a little bit over. I'm just gonna throw in these extra pieces. There's a little bit of water in here, so it's a little bit less. All right, next up, I'm going to grind the flax seeds, and that's what I want to do at the very end because I want to make sure these are freshly ground. In the meantime, I'm going to wrap this up. I'll show you how I wrap it up. I have these fabric napkins, and I'm just gonna do like an abracadabra and watch. You can watch it disappear. Just wrap this up like a little present, and then I'm gonna put it back in the plastic wrap and put it back in the refrigerator. So I just ground up 4 tablespoons of flax seeds and add it here. And you want to see how I clean it? It's really simple. So I dust off any flax that's on my fingers. My fingers are clean. And then I just take a clean paper towel and just rub the sides of the inside and then shake it into either a trash can, or don't want to waste it, just put it into my blender and it gets shaking the excess off, and it's pretty darn clean. And then I can use it again, because I found if I clean it with water and soap, which I was doing, it was just ruining the appliance, and it didn't even last, like, you know, I think one of them lasted like 2 months. All right, and then I can just put this back. So now it's on the counter. So now I'm going to chop it. So I've got my tamper, my lid, and I'm going to chop it on low, making sure not to over blend it because I do not want cream of wheat. I want raw vegan oatmeal. Check by how it looks and how it tastes, so you can determine how chunky or smooth you want it. So this needs just a couple more seconds. Flavors amazing. It's really good. I want a little less crunchy. Texture is really important when it comes to how a food tastes. I like it. The flavor is just so amazing. It's like a dessert. So I'm going to leave mine just a little bit chunky. I've got half of a cup of blueberries, and I'm going to just, this is going to be my topping. So, and these are frozen that I've defrosted on my counter over 4 hours. So I took it out this morning, and look at this delicious juice. So that's going to coat the oatmeal. You can see that a half a cup of defrosted blueberries is actually less than a half a cup. Look at that. So awesome. All right, so now I'm going to add a little bit of cinnamon. A little bit on top. I love cinnamon. My husband says I overdo it, but I just think it tastes wonderful. I love this spice, sweet spice. Now I'm going to add my blueberries. See if I can make this even, make it pretty for you without making a mess. That's hard for me, kind of messy. And I'm going to top it with a little bit of balsamic vinegar, just about a teaspoon. Think of this as syrup. Don't need too much. Oh gosh, my mouth is watering. And then you can just eat it like that, or for additional crunch, I'm going to add a couple of walnut pieces. These are raw. If you cannot have walnuts, then just skip it. Yum. Isn't that beautiful? So much better than typical oatmeal. So much healthier. So without the walnuts, this is 500 calories and 53 grams of net carbohydrates. So net means it's after the fiber's removed, because that doesn't impact your blood sugar, doesn't make it go up. And if you add the 2 tablespoons of walnuts I just estimated, instead of 500 calories, it's 600 calories. So isn't that crazy how nuts add so many calories? And it's 54 grams of carbohydrates with the nuts. All right, so let's try it. Gosh, I love the walnuts. I try not to eat too many nuts. But it's wonderfully sweet. You know, it's not warm and like you're expecting from oatmeal. That's the only bummer. The combination of the balsamic, which is a tangy, with the sweet blueberries, is so good. When I used to eat oatmeal with rolled oats, after I ate, I would feel so heavy and full and like going back to bed. This makes me feel more energized. I don't feel bogged down. And it is creamy. You don't taste the flax seeds at all. I'll put the recipe in the description below. What I am doing is this is the last day I'm going to eat any nuts for 3 months. And then I'm going to get my cholesterol level checked, because I want to see if I take out nuts, if my cholesterol level changes at all. Because these doctors, they've been saying, you know, for instance, we shouldn't eat avocados or nuts, because, or not too many at least, because our cholesterol level will go up. But I did a test, and it was over 5 months and then almost a year, by eating more avocados, and my cholesterol level didn't go up. It went down just a couple points. So I'm going to do this other test with nuts. So I'm not even going to have any almond milk. So what you're watching right now is my YouTube channel called Nina's Plant-Based Vegan Recipes. And the other channel I'm going to post this, which I have all sorts of, it's called Nina's Nutrition and Wellness videos. And that has information on nutrition. And that is where I'm going to show my test results and let you know if it impacted my cholesterol level. So let me know if you have any questions. Hope you make it. Hope you enjoyed as much as I do, and hope to see you soon. For my favorite low-fat, oil-free, plant-based vegan recipes, order my cookbook with vegan nutrition facts on how to prevent and reverse disease, which chronicles my personal health and weight loss story through my website, thehigh5diet.com.